Do you wanna know what's going round? See what's the talk of the town on Real Talk on the radio today.
And welcome to Real Talk Radio 97.5 and KDWRadio.com, broadcasting from the Remax Palm Real Estate Mobile Tower right here in beautiful Northport, Florida. A couple shout outs. I've got Remax Palm Realty. We're located in 3 locations, Venice and Port Charlotte. 2 locations in Port Charlotte. We also have Allstate, the Hardin Group, located on Toledo Blade, and our trusted Lions Title, also located on Toledo Blade. All 3 are major sponsors to our radio station, and we deeply appreciate you continuing to sponsor us and help us forge ahead here in our beautiful city. Any of you advertisers out there who have already contributed towards this, we really do appreciate you. And if you would like to engage with us more and promote your businesses out, please contact me at 941-391-4663. As we are a nonprofit organization, and we're always looking for business partners to work with. And now I got a mouthful out. I have a very special guest who I've known for quite a while, but we just didn't put name and face together, I don't think. But I'm going to let her introduce herself here real quick.
Hi, my name is Carol Valdez, and I am with the City of Northport Social Services Division. My title is a Program and Life Skills Specialist, and I'm so glad to be here with you guys, giving you a little bit more information.
Fantastic. And there are some things that are coming up here real soon. I can't even believe I'm going to say this, but we're almost into November, and that just follows all kinds of things. We've got Thanksgiving coming up, and then we're marching right into December, which puts us right into kind of a Christmas theme. Do you kind of want to give us a highlight of what goes on in social services November through December?
Oh, yeah. So these are busy times, and for us, it kind of started in October, mostly because we start registration for our Adopt and Shop program. The Adopt and Shop program is for City of Northport residents to apply to get adopted out by businesses, HOAs, families. A lot of also city departments like to adopt some families out. So we started that registration out in October, and then with that, the adopter registration also happened. I think that began October 15th. It was a little delayed due to multiple hurricanes. So we have the Adopt and Shop program running right now. Registration closes for that October 31st. The next program that we have is our Senior Giving Tree, which is on December 4th. It's from 10:30 to 2 p.m. at the Northport Senior Center. That program is also open right now for seniors to register. They all have to do the registrations here in our office in person. There are certain documents that they need to apply for these programs. So for our Adopt and Shop, they have to bring in income information. They have to bring in the children's birth certificates, make sure that they're in the household. And then they also have to bring in that they prove that they're residents of Northport. So same thing for the Senior Giving Tree. The Senior Giving Tree is where we have a sit-down luncheon with 100 seniors. They're all Northport residents, and it's it's a really fun time. We sit there and we play bingo. We have some city employees and staff help with serving the seniors the lunch. And then I remember last year they did like some singing. It was a really great event. And then also city commissioners joined, city manager as well. It's a really great event for seniors to get registered for. And we opened it a little bit earlier this year so that they can have enough time to get registered. Usually it's only in November, but we opened it in October to make sure that everyone's able to get a chance to register for the event. We also have home-based holidays, and that's for we collaborate with Meals on Wheels, and we prepare 200 hygiene bags so that they can give it to their participants who are not able to leave their household. We prepare different kinds of hygiene bags. So like last year we did things like the kitchen, household goods. Sometime this year, I think we're going to be doing more like laundry type household goods. And we donate that to the Meals on Wheels. And then I think that's it for our home-based holidays. It's a lot back in through these months, but we make sure that we get it done and everyone is able to get registered. We get the information out through our social media on Facebook and then our website as well.
And the website, all I typed in was Northport Social Services. So easy to get to if you need this information. It is right at your fingertips. Beautiful thing is if you don't have a computer at home, you can go to our local library. We've got 2 great locations that will help you get this information online. Social services department, can you tell people where you're located?
Yes, we're located off of Pan American, 6919 Outreach Way. It's a big 2-story building, blue 2-story building. A lot of people may lose it, but it's the only 2-story building down on that street. Yep. It's a little confusing to get into where we're at, but we're on the 2nd floor. And if anything, a lot of people reference us as well, that we're next to Awaken. That's another city building, the Community Education Center.
And you've got we have a great location. We also have there's a huge need in our city for what you guys do. Do you know how many people that you service?
So usually those numbers, like, can you reference for the programs or in general with all the?
I think overall, I mean, we're a big city, but roughly how many people do you service a year? Just how many people need help?
Oh, there is a lot. So Social Services Division, we provide direct funding for Northport residents who are needing financial assistance in a financial crisis. So anywhere from past due rent, electricity or water, or past due mortgage. So we vet those people out to see if they qualify with us. And if they do not qualify or are eligible through us, we do refer them to other agencies that may be able to help. And if for whatever reason we're not able to help, we make sure that we make those connections with those other agencies. So I know last year we were able to help complete 119 applications of financial applications. Wow. And then we also work with other agencies, like, for example, during the hurricane, United Way, we were able to hand out for Hurricane Ian. This year, the hurricanes are still happening, so we're still working with those agencies. But for Hurricane Ian, we were able to give out $75,000 in gift cards to Northport residents who were in need.
Well, you really kind of highlighted all of the holiday programs that we have. We've got life skill programs, don't we?
Yes, we do. So that is
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So that is kind of my area of expertise. So I work with individuals or in group settings. I work with them with our workshops. We have 4 right now. One of them is budgeting, interviewing, resume building, and dress for success. So these workshops are able to help individuals get prepared out in the career field so that they can be successful looking for a job, whether it be that they just got a new job and they need help budgeting their new paycheck, or if they're looking for a job or a career change. We start with building their resume to make sure that when they're filling out applications, that they can get past the human resource and get over to the managers. So once they get there, then we go ahead and get them start the interview process. We can get some interviewing questions down to see, depending on what type of job they're looking for, what type of questions the interviewees will be asked. So once we get that, then we prepare them for their interview. And then we also give them incentives as well to get a new outfit so that they can go ahead and show up nicely to the interview so that they can give the first impression, and then they're well prepared by the time that they finish all of these workshops to hopefully be able to get that job that they were looking for.
And we've got a clothing closet, and they put down MP2. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw those back at you.
Yeah.
And let you handle both of those.
Yeah, so we also run a children's clothing closet. Northport residents are able to come every other month. They have to bring certain documentations as well, just to make sure that they're eligible, that they're needing the services. So they have to bring in proof of income, proof that they're Northport residents, and then all the children's birth certificates, and then they're able to shop. We have a little boutique in our suite, and they're able to come every other month. They also can drop in donations too. So we have a lot of individuals who participate in the program, and then they come and get clothing, and then they also drop off clothing. So it's like a revolving circle, and it's really good to see that they also are putting in their part. They're receiving these clothes, but they're also putting in for other children who might need it as well, because their children are growing so fast. And they are able to enjoy new clothes. The kids get so excited too. They're like, oh, do I get new shoes today? Do I get this? Do I get that? So it's really nice to see that as well.
So we've got a very strong network of social services within our city, and that whole strip over there you mentioned, Awaken Church, I know how I've interviewed them. I know how strong they are with the social service side of it, and it's really cool to imagine those 3 buildings kind of working lockstep, so to speak, on in the platform of supporting I don't even want to say the less fortunate, because they're fortunate to have this scenario to play through. But we have to uplift our community. We have to uplift our citizens, no matter where we're at, and we all need to do that together. That's really what social services is. What kind of impact do you, as an individual, do you feel like you make in our city by working at social services?
Well, I feel like the impact that I make is being knowledgeable for all of the residents, getting to know other agencies as well here that we have within these buildings, and as well as our family service building. So here we house another 11 agencies, and then we do work together as well. So if they are needing someone who is needing clothing, who is needing resources, they come up here and then we direct them to the correct place. We like to work with these nonprofit agencies to make sure that we support them just as much as they support us. And that's a big example of the MP Square program, which is the Northport and Nonprofits United. It's a program for nonprofits to achieve their mission objectives by integrating local municipal government and then the area agencies providing services to Northport residents. Northport agencies are able to apply for a support item, and then the committee will review that application and they decide if they're eligible to help with their mission support item.
Fantastic. How many people work at social services?
Well, right now there's only 6 of us. Like my manager
a very strong 6.
Yes, my manager likes to say we're small but mighty. So I'm going to take that from her today. We are, especially during the holiday season, we have an abundance of people coming in through the door, and we are small but mighty, and we're getting the work done out here.
What is it like? I don't want to talk about like the worst, but I was in when I worked at the hospital. I even in Columbus, even here at Sarasota Memorial, we had some really bad cases and bad situations, and for you and the people you work with in the building, there's 6 of you. There's a huge impact that you guys make in these families that you're really touching every day. Is there any of the stories that you would like to tell of success?
Well, yeah. So one of them just happened not too long ago. So we do have a lot of individuals come in here needing assistance, and a lot of times we're not able to help them based on not a lot of times, but the times that we're not able to help them and we have to refer them out to someone else. We kind of want to hear back. We want to know if the other agencies were able to help, because each story, each phone call that comes in, it does touch our hearts. And especially if we're not able to help, we don't ever want to tell no one no. We want to make sure that they do get the help that they need. And we make sure that we can direct them to the correct agency that's able to help. And if they're not able to help, I don't want that, and all of us don't want that to stop there. We want to make sure that they're able to get the help that they need. So we recently had someone give us a call and they weren't eligible for our services, but we referred them out to another local nonprofit agency, and then that's it. Like, that's all we hear. But then the agency gave us a call back and they said that they were able to help. And it's good to hear that, because then we know that this family and their children are going to be able to have lights on, and they're not going to get evicted, and they're going to be able to live in their place. And then it just helps them just through that month, just, like, it helps them within that time frame just to get ahead a little bit.
I'm a huge advocate for pushing our citizens to reach out to their neighbors. There's something to be said about connecting with some knowledge about social services and then checking on your neighbors to make sure that they're fine. We're living in some tough times right now for our senior base, our lower income families that are out there. I'm sure that you see those numbers climb, or have seen those numbers climb as we've kind of hit some food pricing and fuel pricing and different things like that. How would you encourage the listening audience to get involved with their neighbors and check on them and really highlight some of the things that you guys offer?
So one thing is always following us on social media because it shares a lot of information that we provide and the programs that we're able to help with, as well as other agencies that we partner with that may be able to help as well. It is getting a little bit harder and harder to help individuals with the rise of inflation and the rent going up. And then, there is a lot of people also moving to Florida. So it's a little bit hard to have individuals find housing, and we got to direct them to the right place. We're like a resource hub. We're here to help them if we're not able to, but we want to make sure that they get the service. So a lot of our seniors as well are having a hard time because they are seeing the rise in food. So we work a lot with a lot of our food pantries in the area that we refer them over to them just to make sure that they at least can cut costs somewhere. So if they're not able to afford food, then maybe they can get assistance through local food pantries. If they're not able to pay their electric bill because in the summer they go up like crazy and they didn't have the funds for it, then we make sure that we refer them to the Salvation Army for like light heat program or anything like that if we're not able to assist. And if they're just needing help with rent, then or their mortgage, then we see if we're able to help them pay for that for a one-time basis.
I call it the struggle bus. Sometimes you get on that struggle bus and things just escalate. Sometimes it's not that you need every month. Sometimes it's just something that happened. That's when people really need to understand that there are people out there, there are organizations, not just at our social services, but what you guys do with your networking, to really try to find. I want to think that you guys kind of look at it to find every dime that you can. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, so our funding before it used to be once every year that people were able to use it, but because, like you said, the price of everything is going up, and they're seeing a need more for people because it's not just low income families anymore. It's everyone is seeing the struggle. So right now the funding guidelines have changed where they are able to apply for funding once in a lifetime. So that gets a little bit harder for families who already knew that, like, hey, in the summer it gets really hot, so our electricity goes up, and I'll be able to use social services funding every July, like they already had it down like clockwork because they knew, but now that's not the case anymore. So we had some of our repeat clients that we had to refer out to a number of different agencies just because the number of like the food went up or their electricity went up and they just didn't budget for that. So we do work a lot with our partnering agencies so that we can get them the assistance that they need.
Sean Kirkpatrick has a question. Have you ever worked with the home health agencies to find local resources for senior citizens?
We have not. We used to have a partnership with the Senior Friendship Center, but that was before my time. So we do still refer a lot of senior citizens over to the Senior Friendship Center because they may be able to help them with their water payment or their mortgage or electricity. But as far as home health aid, no, we have not. We usually refer them to Area on Aging Agency, and they can give them a little bit more information for home health aid.
Well, so let me slide into this, and I know your number scrolling across the bottom, Sean, so you can ask her some questions too. But if you have businesses like that or citizens that wanted to come in and help or volunteer, is there an opportunity there to do that?
To volunteer for us, you are able to, but that does go through the city just because it is the local municipal government. They do have to go through a vetting process in order to be able to volunteer. So a lot of our volunteers either go through that or they see the need. They come visit our building and then they see the need over at the Community Education Center, and then they also go and volunteer there.
How about a business that wants to work with you, kind of hand in glove and assist along the way? Is there opportunity there?
Yes, there is. Depending on exactly what the business is needing. I know that personally, me in the past, I have worked with other agencies as far as workshops. So I connected, and this information was out on our Facebook with our neighbors, helping our returning neighbors. And they have some amazing workshops as well that we were wanting to partner and connect with together. And we put that information out there on social media to see if we can get those classes going together.
Awesome. So you just mentioned social media, and we've hit that like 3 times in conversation. Talk about your social media. Tell people where they can find you on social media.
So we are on Facebook. We're City of Northport. We together as a whole, all departments are on there. We put out our information to our communications team, and they do a great job putting out our information that we need to be out. We also have our website with the city, it's northportfl.gov / social services. You're able to find our local programs on there, also the agencies that are in our building, and then any updates that we have with our programs, community events that we also host throughout the year, not just for the Christmas ones. And then we also have an Instagram page for the city.
Fantastic. And the website, like I said, I highlighted the website. It's so easy to get to. So if you don't do the social media side of things, and you're listening on the radio right now, this is one aspect of it. Two, if you're listening on Facebook and you've never watched the show before, you can always ask questions. You can always put your comments up. Sometimes I post them. Most questions, though, I do post. So if you have a question in regards to social services of Northport, please feel free to type them in on the social media feeds, and I'll post them. So can I go back and can we talk about the Christmas and the holiday stuff and kind of talk about how you qualify for that?
Yes. So we have funding guidelines through the Sarasota government, through the CDBG program. We follow that income guidelines, and then people provide their documents for the last 30 days. And then we reference that income guideline sliding fee scale. And then we determine to see if individuals are eligible through that. And that's just for the programs.
So that really is the highlight of what they have to do to get kind of installed into the processes, right?
Correct. Yeah. So they'll bring in those documents and we'll assess to see if they're eligible for that.
What at that point, let's say they get accepted, what happens?
So once they complete their registration, we go ahead and put it in on our side. And then once we start, once we stop with the registrations, we start looking out at the list for the adopters, and then we start partnering families up with the adopters. And then it depends if the adopters want to remain anonymous or not. They if they want to remain anonymous, they'll do everything through us. They'll pick up their items here. And then it's usually like the beginning of December where they start hearing back from us, because then that means that the adopters have already went shopping for them. They dropped off their items, and now we can deliver it to the families. If the adopter wants to work with them directly, then the adopter, as soon as they get with the adopter, they can start talking to them. So the family won't get that information. The adopter will. The adopter will reach out if they would like to. Otherwise, they can do just drop offs, and that would be that for that.
You know, I always try to take this approach of knocking the fear down. A lot of people that are in the network of social services, and they don't have that fear. They know how everything works, or they're figuring it out, or they have someone that's kind of guiding them. But if you had someone in our city right now that has never come to social services, and they really are maybe feeling like, should I or shouldn't I? What would you say? What would you tell them?
To come in through the door, because it takes a lot just to get to our door, or just for that phone call. And that's why it's really important for us to make sure that we don't tell individuals, hey, we're not sorry to help you, because it took a lot for them just to make that phone call. It took a lot for them just to ask for that help. So we want to make sure they're asking for help because they need it. So we either are able to help them. If we're not, then we send them to someone that is able to help them. We don't want them to leave empty-handed. So if anyone is out there needing help, always reach out. We're here to help in any situation. Even if it's something that we don't provide, we may know an agency that may be able to continue following up with your assistance that you're needing.
So and I'm going to ask this because I don't know. Because I've been blessed enough not to have gone through, but I have been in part of the helping hand at some points with what you guys do with my Buckeye group, because one year we dropped off a whole bunch of gifts over there and helped you guys that way. But I'm wondering what's the requirement for someone who gets something from you? Is there something they have to do back for the city?
No, they do not. There is no requirements. I mean, other than paperwork and documents that they have to provide to the caseworkers, that's it. There's no, you don't have to come to our workshops. You don't have to give back. I mean, that would be great if you did, but you don't have to.
Well, no, and you laugh about that, and I love your casualness about it, because if people can come in there kind of with their guard down, then they learn about all the things you do offer along the way. And I'm sure that you promote everything to people so that when they're coming in, they're walking in maybe after one targeted thing, but they leave with a massive amount of information.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Especially right now, that a lot of people may walk in through the doors looking for something else. And then we're like, hey, do you want to sign up for the adopt-in shop? And they're like, what's that? And I was like, you haven't heard yet? And then we give them the information, and they come back and register with us, and we get them all signed up. And they're like, man, I didn't know this was a program. And it's like, yeah, like it's been for years, but now you know, and now you can come back year after year if you qualify.
So would you say, because I listened to you at the beginning, and you talked about even the budgeting and things like that. These really could be life-changing moments for a lot of people.
Absolutely. I think, especially if they took some workshops, I think that's like setting you up for like great success, whether it's looking for a new job or just trying to advance in your own career and you want to move up. I think it's like a good foundation for you to move on to the next step.
How long you been doing this now?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. All right.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
year and a half. That's is this, and I'm going to assume you're so much younger than me. So you're probably what? How many jobs have you had? How many different jobs?
Not a lot. I was at my previous job for 8 years. I think maybe four that I've had.
Sure, and all of them different, right?
Yes, same kind of social worky,
Yep.
out helping the community. But I mean, before I was with children, and then before it was with seniors. So now it's just everyone.
And the reason I bring that up is it kind of feeds into what you just said, because you didn't stay stagnant either.
No.
You've kind of opened avenues, and you've probably advanced because of scenarios that happen within that job, and then the next job, and then the next job, right?
Yes. And then one job taught me how to do one thing, and the other and so forth. And I learn. I like learning and being able to grow. And that's what I want to teach people too, that they're able to do the exact same thing.
And you're no different than I am, because
Yeah.
I've worked more jobs by now. But the beautiful thing is that you're there. The social service department is there. It's an extended arm, and it's friendly. The doors are open. They swing both ways.
Yes.
But you can't drag people in, can you?
That's the thing. No, we cannot.
Yeah.
We put the services out there. We try to get everyone as informed as they can be, and we are here for them.
Awesome. So I'm going to lead into something else now, because there was something that happened in our town that I was part of for the first time with Helene, and then another one with Milton. But I was part of the EOC, and I understand that you're part of the EOC.
Yes, I was, which was a very exciting time.
Yes, it was on a completely different scale of excitement. But what was your take of Milton?
So it was my first time doing it. I'm kind of glad that we had a little mini hurricane. I mean, I know it was very, devastating to some with Helene. So we got a little bit of practice there. And then Milton came in, and that one was worse. That one made landfall in Sarasota. So for that one, I felt like I was ready because of Helene, the hurricane. And then by the time Milton came around, we were able to give a lot of Northport residents the information and guidance that they needed in order to be able to either evacuate or for them to decide where they're going to go, if they should. I mean, we got phone calls with people asking if they should border up their houses. And I was like, I can't give you that information, but you got to make that decision yourself. But just anyone calling because they had any little question. And that's great, because then it made us think too, like, oh, we also need to get that information out there. We need to put that information out there. So it was a good time trying to get everyone settled into their locations, and just being there for residents.
And Robin Simmons today said, I don't think the department gets enough credit. You guys are great.
Thank you.
The social services side of a city says a lot. It does. It says a lot, because our citizens come in a lot of ranges. We have the well and parks that we talk about all the time, and then we have the general development areas that have been here forever, and a lot of our seniors have been here for decades. I used to live in that area, and it's one of our. I still like the area myself. Because it's the old feel. It's the waterfront. It's all the things that I liked about that area. And there's some individuals over there who've been here long enough that they need some assistance along the way. Do you feel like we're covering the areas pretty good?
Well, I'm in the city, I'm in the government side of it. So I do see that a lot of residents may not be seeing exactly everything that the city does, but I completely think that the city is doing a great job of keeping everyone informed. The way they prepared for both hurricanes, I think they did a really great job. And yeah, I absolutely agree.
Well, the funny thing is I always look at it and I break things down. Um, After I do an event, I break it down and I want to make the goal is always to make it better. And you said something and I had to chuckle a little bit, but um, you're not wrong in what you said because I was involved in the EOC on Helene, and you're right. It was practice.
Yeah.
Other people got hurt, and I feel bad for them, and I know you do the same, and
Mhm.
everyone in our city does. But we were blessed on that one,
Yes.
um, and then we kind of got to work some kinks out, and then Milton came along and we still got to work kinks out, but that was a different grind. That was a different beast.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
but I do you look at your programs like the Christmas programs and all those things? Do you look at those after they're done and find ways to do them better?
Absolutely. Every program and event that we have, we sit down as a whole or as a department, and all of us go through everything. So we make sure that we list what the strengths was, what the weaknesses were, what opportunities we can have to make the event better, and what threats happened throughout the event that made it. That can't happen again. So every time I'm preparing a new event, I look at that from the previous year. Like, okay, what went right and what went wrong, and then we try to make each event better year after year after year. And the Christmas events aren't the only ones that we also do. We also have our community baby shower in April, and that's open to anyone from anywhere in Florida. It's for pregnant mothers and families with toddlers up to the age 4. They're able to come and enjoy area resources and leave with amazing games that the nonprofit agencies all donate. And then we also have our back to school resource fair in August, where families also register for supplies, supplemental supplies, and backpacks. And those have to be Northport residents, but they also we sit down after each event and we're like, okay, what can make this event better next year? So yeah.
So Robin's got a long question up there, and I don't want to block us out on here, but it's a great question. Um, have we ever done an event where we've had just social services and everybody knew about it and could come? Just that social services department event?
No, we have not. Like I said, I've only been here a year and a half, and in that timeline, I have not seen that. But I mean, that would be really great. I mean, there's only 6 of us, but I think it would be a short, fun event.
Yeah. Well, did you? I know you guys participate in some of the events at the Mullen Center
Mhm.
and different areas within the city when the city goes out. 4th of July, where you guys were at the 4th of July, right?
No, we weren't, but we were at the we do join with the Northport Night Out.
Okay. Okay.
We were there, and then we also Newcomer Day. I know that's coming up this Saturday, and I'll be there representing for social services. And any event that I could be a part of, I try to go out there, either me or one of my other co-workers. We all make sure that we can get the city residents informed.
How other than the social media side of things, how do people find out about the department itself? It- do we have a really good grasp on communications out to our churches and different organizations in our city?
I think that we try to make sure that we make sure that we make contact with everyone. One of the big things that our division does is that we host monthly interagency meetings. And we invite out nonprofit programs so that we can all sit around and have one speaker from one agency come out and let us know what their agency provides. And then we go around the room and we talk about what each agency provides and how they're able to help, what their upcoming programs are. That way we are all aware of the services that are out there. So we're still making contact and things like that with other agencies, but each month we have someone new, and it's great to see each agency and the government working together.
So you guys are casting the net over the city, but you're doing it, I think, very methodically through the other organizations, correct?
Correct.
That's cool. The let's see, she wrote something else. It's a big one. Talking about it's have social service department and other nonprofits put on just a community event based around the what's available in the community. That might be something you take back to one of your meetings. Is that collectively you all do an event? And like you said, though, you've only been a year and a half, but I know that you're going to come back on the show at some point.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of doing cycles. But Robin, that's actually not a bad idea. I like that.
Well, a lot of our baby shower, community baby shower, and our back to school resource fair, that's what they're about. So it's an incentive to get residents in through the door, but it's also working with our local agencies to get their information out as well. So each family has to visit each booth to get information from their local agencies. That way they're getting their word out too, and then they're able to apply for whatever, like there's like a grand prize at the baby shower.
Yeah, I do remember filming that actually. You're making me think about all this stuff now. I do remember filming that, and you do have to go to each station.
Yeah.
I think you had that at the Mullen Center.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So that Robin, though, that was great thinking. That was because those all coordinate together to kind of promote the whole effort from I would say the external team. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've got about 9 minutes left. So far, so good for you, right? No pressure?
No pressure.
Have you enjoyed this so far?
Yes, actually, I have. I was a little nervous, but you're easy to talk to and make it easy to deliver.
Awesome. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to go over November and December again and really highlight those programs that you have coming up.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So November is our time. Well, it started in October, but it was our time for Adopt and Shop program for families to register. All October, we were registering families. It closes October 31st, so there's a few more days just to get some families in. In order to register, you have to come into our office, which is located at 6919 Outreach Way. We're in Suite 3 on the second floor. They're able to bring in their income information, their proof of residency, children's birth certificates, and identification for the parent. If they bring in those documents, they're able to go ahead and be eligible for the program. So once registration closes, we start giving out the family information out to adopters who have registered. Adopters can register through our link, which is on our website. And then they're also it's also on Facebook. They will start hearing from us sometime next week so that they will receive their families. It's not too late for adopters to register. They can register through November 15th to adopt a family. And you can pick your preference in family. You can pick 1 child, 2 children, 3, depending on your preference. All that information is on the registration link. So that is for November. Then we also have registration for our senior giving tree, which is also going on in October and November. Our senior giving tree is our program for our seniors. We have it at the Northport Senior Center. This year it's going to be on December 4th from 10:30 to 2 o'clock. We have 100 seniors come in their dressed to the nines. They come so cute, ready to play bingo, have a good lunch, and enjoy their afternoon. And then they receive a little gift before they leave. I know last year we had them that we had like a little photo booth area, and they were all able to take little pictures there. That was so cute. And then that registration opened in October, and it's running through November 30th. We will also accept any donations if someone doesn't want to register to become an adopter. We also accept donations for the program as well, so that if some families don't get adopted out, that we can go shopping for them as well.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So social services, no fear, we're here for you.
Oh, I like that.
Come and talk to Carol and her team. If you have a neighbor in need, get them the information. If they're fearful of obtaining the information, stop by social services, go online, do your research, show them. It's not hard. Let's help our neighbors. Let's take the fear out of assisting our neighbors in need, and try to do the right thing. I think 2025 and the end of 2024, we should start wrapping our arms around our neighbors and saying hello and checking on them. We should get to know them. We talked about hurricanes in this whole 55 minutes, and we both know what it's like to work inside the OC and how much our city cares about it. It's time we start breaking some barriers down, making our neighborhoods again. And how I mean that is, old school is you talk to your neighbors in your neighborhood. So go meet your neighbors, make sure they're okay, and if they need some assistance, get a hold of social services and ask some questions. It's the easiest thing you could do, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And how much was all this? How much money do they have to pay?
They don't have to pay anything to walk in through the door. So we're here to help you.
Free assistance is a good thing. A helping hand up is a good thing. Helping your neighbor is a good thing. Taking the fear out of social services is what we should all be doing for everyone. Yes. It's a tough job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because we hear all the stories. We want to help everyone. We wish we were able to help everyone, but like you said, don't fear. We're here to help, and if we're not able to help you, we know someone who can. So,
I will say this because I've been connected with healthcare for a long time. My wife's still in it. Social workers are the most underrated part of healthcare, but they are also one of the outperformers of healthcare. You guys don't get enough credit. You don't get enough kudos, so you get lots from me.
Thank you.
Because most people don't think about social workers or social needs until they need them.
Yes.
So reach out to help somebody. There's nothing like helping somebody up.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people might not know that we're here. Social services is they don't really think, oh, it's run through the government, like they don't really put that with the government, but we are here to help all of Northport residents.
A successful resident is a great resident.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's all. It's as simple as that. As you know, where you can help, you do, and where you can't help, you'll try to find a solution.
Yes.
And sometimes you're successful at it, sometimes you're not. But most times I would think you are.
Yes. So yeah, we try to be.
Yep. Well, I appreciate it. Do you want to give any shout outs to anybody? We've got just about a minute 30 left. You want to
Um,
talk about your staff that you
yes, absolutely. So we have our right for our staff, we have our manager, Janet Carrillo, and then we have our business operations specialist, and then we have two caseworkers, and then we have a staff two assistant that she's the face of everything. When everyone comes in, she's the first face they see, and then me that helps with the workshops, the setting up of the events, and running the programs.
Awesome. Well, this is John Rawlings with Carol saying thank you so much. Visit Northport Social Services online, social media, and in person. Get people information and help them out this year. If you know somebody in need, please just support, support, support. Thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye now.